Hey guys, welcome back to DC Extra. My name is Chris. Today we're going to be breaking down the season premiere of Season 3 of Stargirl. As always, before getting into the breakdown, make sure you've seen the episode because there are going to be some spoilers ahead. As with most CW shows, we started with a recap of the previous seasons. After the recap, we get straight into the events of this episode. So starting off, we get some members of the ISA appearing to align themselves with the JSA now. However, we'll see how long that lasts for. We then get a bit of a montage of the various members of the JSA, including Rick, who appears to have rebuilt the hourglass that gives him his powers after he destroyed it last season. Cindy helps an old woman cross the road, which is definitely uncharacteristic for her. At the end of the montage, we see the gambler has returned to Blue Valley, and so too have the Dugans after going on a trip. While they were out, it appears as though Sylvester was looking after their house, which included repairing their house after some stuff was broken in a fight last season. Sylvester makes a display case for the cosmic stuff by his bed, which makes Courtney feel uneasy. However, he mentions that he's done with being Starman. He also mentions that he woke up in his coffin, so it's possible that he did die and something brought him back from the dead, believing it's the connection him and Courtney share with the staff that did this. Courtney and Pat argue about whether or not to trust the Crocs, who are now living across the road from them. The gambler pays the Dugans a visit, claiming that he wants to make amends. Gambler says that the reason he has returned is to find his daughter, who was given up for adoption at her birth. After the conversation with the gambler, there is a brief moment where we see a black and white display, possibly signifying that there is a camera in the house and someone is watching them. Crusher breaks into the Dugan's house on what appears to be an innocent-ish intentions, but it's still weird seeing him around like this. The gambler visits the Shade in a local diner. Gambler attempts to make amends with Shade, however, Shade sees right through this and as a result threatens him. When Shade uses his powers momentarily to threaten Gambler, they appear to be playing up somewhat. While at school, Cindy joins the JSA, which appears to unsettle the rest of them. Yolanda gets mad that Courtney has let Cindy and possibly Artemis join the JSA. Pat shows Sylvester his mech, however, when they get back home, the rest of the family call them out for being late, and Courtney calls out Sylvester for going against his word on not being Starman and not using the cosmic staff. However, she immediately goes to apologize about snapping at him, and he admits that he lied when he said he didn't want to be Starman, but thinks it would be better to train Courtney to use the staff than using it himself. However, Courtney makes a counter arrangement with Sylvester that he's able to use the staff while she's at school, and every other time she can use it. He seems somewhat reluctant to agree to this, but he does. The JSA go to stop a gang from doing some undoubtedly bad stuff, but Artemis interrupts and she takes them all down single-handedly, trying to prove herself to the JSA. Once again, Yolanda and Rick stand up to Courtney for allowing Cindy to join the JSA. They also believe that the gambler was responsible for the gang's earlier attack, based on their past alliance. Sylvester opposes the idea to give the villains a second chance, and then goes on to say that Pat is his sidekick once again. However, it feels like Sylvester is belittling Pat, as we have seen Pat grow in his role as a superhero in seasons 1 and 2. After writing a letter to his daughter, the gambler discovers security cameras around the houses of JSA members and outside his own trailer. He attempts to take down the camera, but as he does, the camera cuts out and we hear some form of creature that assumably has taken him. The JSA go to the trailer park to find the gambler, but all they find is his trailer destroyed and Cindy standing over his dead body with a gun in hand. Although she claims it wasn't her, but I'm sure the JSA think otherwise. And that was the end of this episode. Now I just want to share a few thoughts before ending the video. In general, I think that Courtney was advocating for the villains a little bit too much at times, and it seemed a little bit forced. However, I think in the case of Cindy, it makes sense because she helped the JSA defeat Eclipso last season. Starman's return is puzzling to say the least, with them not explaining it too much. However, I believe there is something larger at play here, because at times Sylvester seems to force his thoughts upon others, like when making Pat his sidekick. Overall, great first episode, leaving some mystery for the next one and the rest of the season as a whole. But anyway, that is it for this video, so I hope you did enjoy, and if you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more content like this. And be sure to follow my Twitter account to stay up to date with the latest DC news. But until next time, this has been Chris, and I'll be seeing ya.